Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Good morning, Tiz.
Good morning, DJ NV, Charlamagne the God, and Jess Hilarious.
Good morning, Tiz.
Peace, Ted.
Just quickly, some quick sports. The NBA suspends 5 players. There was a huge fight the other night on the Heat and the Pelicans, and
That's
because
what y'all
of that
call
fight,
that?
a little.
I was born in 1978. That's what y'all call that? A huge fight nowadays?
Well, I mean, they suspended 5 players. It wasn't a huge fight. It was a pushing match.
They all would have been playing back in my era. Okay? That was nothing.
A little pushing match.
Nobody even got punched.
No, a little pushing match.
Hey, come on, man.
But 5 players were suspended. Now, let's jump right into the news. What are we starting about? The Georgia nursing student?
Yeah, let's talk about that. The officials have confirmed that the suspect in the murder of 22-year-old Georgia nursing student Laken Hope Riley entered the U.S. illegally. Let's go to CBS for the report.
In Athens, Georgia, your classic college town, the nursing student, just 22, was killed while running alone. Police found Riley's body behind this lake, a popular jogging trail, dead from blunt force trauma. Behind bars, 26-year-old Jose Ibarra, charged with her murder. And to many Americans, Ibarra has also become the new face of illegal immigration.
Laken's death is a direct result of failed policies on the federal level and an unwillingness by this White House to secure the southern border.
Now, Ibarra was a Venezuelan citizen and unlawfully entered the U.S. through El Paso, Texas in September 2022. Now, when he entered, he was retained and released by Border Protection. That's where you hear people say, you'll hear a lot of conservatives talk about catch and release. That's what they're talking about. And within his first year in the United States, he was arrested in August 2023 in New York. He was charged with acting in a manner to injure a child less than 17 and a motor vehicle license violation. So he's currently being held on charges that include malice murder, felony murder, aggravated battery, aggravated assault, false imprisonment, kidnapping, and hindering a 911 call. But as you just heard in the clip, this will definitely be something that conservatives for sure, will be running on this entire season. Yeah,
they ran that on the news all day yesterday. All the networks were running it over and over and over and over and using it as the latest example of why, they got to get the border under control. They have no problem politicizing situations like this, but it's interesting because you have political parties politicizing them, but you have the networks using it for ratings.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Well, yesterday, Joe Biden was on Seth Meyers. And just to point out, 50 pro-Palestine protesters were arrested yesterday at NBC headquarters in New York as Joe Biden was appearing on the late night show. But this is what he had to say. People had a chance to see a softer side of him. He took some shots at Trump. This is what he had to say about Taylor Swift and his age. Take a listen.
All jokes aside, according to recent polling, this is a real concern for American voters. How do you address that concern going forward as you come up to the 2024 election?
Well, a couple things. Number one, you got to take a look at the other guy. He's about as old as I am, but he can't remember his wife's name.
Yeah. Now, I have you on the hot spot here. Can you confirm or deny that there is an active conspiracy between you and Miss Swift?
Where are you getting this information? It's classified.
It's classified information?
That's classified
You won't
information.
share it with us?
I'm not gonna, but I will tell you, she did endorse me in 2020.
She did. I bet you might be wondering. You think it might come around again?
I told you it's classified.
I had no idea Joe Biden was on Seth Meyers last night.
Oh, the city was mad traffic in the city all day yesterday.
I wasn't in the city. Yeah, I had no idea.
Let him find his little jokes funny?
No.
I didn't even hear the first thing he said. He said Trump can't what?
Can't remember his wife's name.
All right.
Okay, like I told you, he ain't got no main character energy. That's not how I want to see him. Get back in the White House and, keep doing your work and find somebody to help message your policy. You are not the charismatic person that need to be sitting on Seth Meyers cracking no jokes. It don't move me in the least bit. Maybe it moved y'all. I don't know. Did y'all enjoy it?
No.
I don't even know him. I don't know what
you don't even know him.
About.
He's the president.
He don't know me. I don't know him. I don't know.
Yeah, that ain't it, y'all. Nah, that ain't it. That ain't it.
All
well,
right.
he did his best.
All right.
He did his best.
He did his best. And that is front page news. Now, what are we talking next hour?
Oh man, make sure you guys come back. You remember we covered that fake robocall, that fake AI robocall. That person has been revealed on who did that call. And also today is a primary for Republicans and Democrats, and Democrats are pushing back on Joe Biden in Michigan. So I want to give you the information about that at the 7 o'clock hour.
All right, everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. Whatever's on your mind, call us now. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. What's up, Tez?
What's going on, DJ NV? Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy.
Peace, Ted.
Hey, girl.
All right, well, let's jump right into New Orleans. What happened to a New Orleans magician?
Yeah, so you guys, you remember when we covered this AI story with the fake robocall in New Hampshire during the New Hampshire primary? There was a call that went around that was pretending to be Joe Biden.
Yep.
So now they have figured out who that was. Let's take a listen.
A New Orleans magician named Paul Carpenter was paid to use AI to impersonate President Biden for a robocall urging New Hampshire Democrats not to vote in the state's primary.
So that came from the actual, again, from a Democrat operative who worked for Dean Phillips, hired this guy to do that. Now, of course, the Phillips campaign say they don't know nothing about this. We don't know what you're talking about, but that was coming from an actual Democrat that did that. I want you to listen to the robocall to jog your memory. Take a listen.
A bunch of malarkey. We know the value of voting Democratic when our votes count. It's important that you save your vote for the November election.
Hey, man, fight dirty. Okay, like when you know what's at stake in November and you're trying to win the presidency of the United States of America. You damn sure shouldn't be fighting fair.
But somebody had to fund them, right? Because this ain't free to do those robocalls and make this AI generated and to call all these people.
Dean Phillips, that was up here.
Oh,
yeah, Dean Phillips.
Oh, but I'm talking about, so I mean, because Dean Phillips said he has nothing to do with the magician, so I'm saying they got to follow the money.
I'm just saying if he did, like right. People are assuming he is him, are alleging it's him, he got the money.
Well, Dean Phillips does.
They went to the campaign report and showed that he spent some money with him. That they're saying they paid him money just to get out the vote to do something else. The magician is saying, no, they lying. They paid me to make this AI call.
Shoot, the Biden administration need to be doing that. They need to have Donald Trump fake AI calls, calling black households saying, hello, nigga.
You are crazy as hell.
Hello, nigga. It's Donald Trump.
Nigga, did you buy my sneakers yet?
Hey, yo.
Jesus.
Vote for me,
somebody may
nigga.
possibly go to jail over this. They said they're looking into it to see if any laws are broken. But so you don't have no problem with the dem on dem fighting.
I want to know what the law is. I'm sure that there is one, but it's funny, right? Imagine charging somebody for charging somebody with fraud for using AI.
That is, though.
I know that. Oh. But my point is, like, they've made this technology that makes it so easy to commit fraud.
Correct.
And then people are going to be using it and getting charged with fraud, but they're the ones who are creating this technology. I don't know who the hell they is, but I'm just saying they've put this out there in the universe. They've created this stuff to put in the ecosystem.
Right. Yeah.
And just for clarity, he was only paid $150 for this as well.
Damn.
Jesus.
I saw a report where he said the software only cost him like a couple of dollars or something like that.
Now think about that. The software only cost a couple of dollars. He was paid $150. He was able to do all that with $150.
But shouldn't the software company be charged too? Like if you're I don't know. I guess that goes back to even the guns,
That's
right?
Like the gun thing.
Yeah, they never going to charge.
The gun,
Yeah, they never going to charge the gun manufacturers. Nope. It's crazy that they can make this kind of technology to cause people, to assist people in committing these kind of crimes, but they don't get charged. Crazy.
Mm-hmm. Now let's talk Rashida Tlaib.
Yeah, this is really important. So Rashida Tlaib, the representative that represents Michigan, is urging Democrats to vote against Joe Biden by completing no commitment. Take a listen.
Michigan Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib is urging her fellow Democrats to vote against President Biden in Michigan's upcoming primary. She wants them to send a message by instead voting uncommitted. Now, Tlaib, who is Palestinian American, has been critical of the administration's position on the war between Israel and Hamas. She wants President Biden to call for an immediate ceasefire to protect the lives of Palestinians living in Gaza. Michigan, of course, as we said, once again, will be a critical battleground state come November. Biden won that state in 2020 by just 3 percentage points.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
So, she's pushing this, obviously, for wanting to continuing to ask for a ceasefire. I also saw that Joe Biden said there might be a ceasefire on Monday. He's not sure. Now, I don't know if that'll be a complete ceasefire or one like they had the last time, which is just a couple of days, but we'll see with that. But they are really, really organized and saying enough is enough. She said she wants to send an important message that he owes this voting bloc in Michigan to be able to deliver on what they're looking for. And I don't know if you guys heard this, but a former airman, 25-year-old active duty airman, Aaron Bushnell from the Air Force, set himself on fire Sunday right in front of the Israel Assembly in Washington, D.C. in the protests of the Israel-Hamas war. He described it as genocide. He said he no longer wanted to be a part of it. And he set himself on fire and said, free Palestine. So people are calling him a hero as well. So,
hey, to all the political scientists out there, all the political pundits, Biden got bigger issues than me and Killer Mike. Okay,
right.
That's right. And you have to everybody in Michigan, you got to see that. You got to see that all the way through, because I saw some folks saying, even if they vote uncommitted in the primary, they still gonna back Biden in November. Don't say stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like don't say stuff like that if you want them to take what you're doing serious. If not, it just looks like a bluff. Like, I would leave it open ended. You don't know what these people are gonna do in November. And honestly, you truly don't know.
Yeah, you really don't. But you're right. They did put it in basically in writing that she said that they would support, but they're just trying to get something done now. Let's listen quickly to Governor Gretchen Whitmire, Michigan governor, and what she had to say about how they think the uncommitted votes will look. The results of that today. Take a listen to that.
How many uncommitted votes do you think we're going to see on Tuesday? How worried are you?
Well, I'm not sure what we're going to see on Tuesday, to tell you the truth. I can tell you this, that Michigan has been so fortunate to be the home of a robust Arab, Muslim, Palestinian community and a robust Jewish community. We've lived in harmony as neighbors for decades, and there's a lot of pain all across all of these communities because of what's happening halfway around the world. It's important not to lose sight of the fact that any vote that's not cast for Joe Biden supports a second Trump term. A second Trump term would be devastating, not just on fundamental rights, not just on our democracy here at home, but also when it comes to foreign policy. This was a man who promoted a Muslim ban.
Gretchen was not wrong.
Yeah, she's not wrong. But again, when you got people willing to set themselves on fire, like they really are taking this ceasefire thing serious. Look at Detroit, one of the blackest cities in the country, represented by Rashida Tlaib. So there is a strong Muslim, strong presence there that really, really believe in this. And I just think it should be taken serious. But we're going to see what the results say in the morning. We'll see how many.
Yeah, no, I do think it should be taken serious. But what Gretchen Whitmer said is true too. It's just like, okay. Right. If Trump gets back into the White House, things aren't going to get better in Gaza. He's going to be way harder at war. And there's not a single president of the United States of America who's not going to back Israel's military. There's never. Yeah. It's been like that since the beginning of time.
And the protesters know that, though, but they're trying to get some action now. They're trying to use what they can, whatever cards at the table now. They feel they have more leverage with Joe Biden because they voted for Joe Biden. So they're saying, hey, we voted for you. This is what we want. And we just have to keep pushing for a ceasefire, knowing that the odds are probably 0 to none. They're still pushing that messaging and making it very clear.
What do you think happens if the protest doesn't go the way they want it? Like they don't get enough uncommitted votes? Like, what do you think?
I think there's still going to be people on the ground organizing against Joe Biden. I organized in Michigan during the Bernie Sanders campaign, flipped Michigan with 2%, with a very small percentage. But that population is just heavy. And it's not even just Michigan. It's also, you have the labor unions who are there. Some of those are still happy with Joe Biden. Some are not happy with Joe Biden. So there's a huge labor population there as well. Remember when Joe Biden ran as a VP with Barack Obama, they brought him in just to get Michigan voters, that pull up, have a beer with Uncle Joe and, middle class, white class, middle white class, basically. So those folks are still there as well. They're not happy. So when you mix in all of that, in addition to the war and all of it, it's a different condition than what it is. So I really can't call it a Charlamagne, but I know it's not something they need to blow off. I know that for sure.
No, I agree. And one more thing, when people say things like, Governor Whitmer says a vote not for Joe Biden is a vote for Trump, I don't know if I necessarily believe that, because I just believe that, there's an exhausted majority in America right now, like my man Tim Ryan says, and people are tired of both of them. Like the American people have already said Trump and Biden is not the rematch that we want. So I think that both candidates, for them, it's a race to energize folks to get off the couch. That's why I keep saying in 2024, it's about the Republicans who are the crooks, the Democrats who are the cowards, and the couch, which is voter apathy. Both candidates, if they become the candidates, which we know they are, their job is to energize, I believe, people to get off the couch. I don't necessarily believe just because you're not voting for Joe Biden, you're not voting for Trump. Some people just are going to choose to stay at home.
And they're both doing a horrible job getting people to get off the couch.
Well, one of them got more of a cult-like following than the other.
Yep.
But I think that they both should be focusing on using their energy to get people off the couch.
All right. Now, that is front page news. Thank you, Tiz.
Absolutely.
And make sure you follow at Tesla and Figueroa on all social media platforms and subscribe to the Straight Shot No Chaser podcast hosted by Tesla and Figueroa on the Black Effect iHeartRadio Podcast Network.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.